you need to do, but hopefully with those hamstring stretches that we started with, this can feel a little bit more like home, right? This down dog isn't quite so shocking to the legs yet. One more breath in. As we exhale, we're gonna bring the gaze forward to the front of the mat. And maybe you come up onto the toes, bend the knees and take a little hop or float forward, or maybe we just walk, kneading in forward fold. Good. So this is our old friend pose for this class. We've been here. Inhale, half back. And fold it down. Inhale, rising up. Full Tadasana. Arms nice and wide. Go and step the feet in hip width distance apart if you're not already there. So we're going to take a little bit of a Kundalini breath of fire to start with. So this is the fun part of this practice is that we are all at home right now. So I'm going to move down just so you can see me, but stay standing if that's where you are. So if you're new to breath of fire, it's kind of like you're a dog and you're panting. So a good way to practice it is to take the tongue out of the mouth. And it's a big inhale and exhale with like kind of a little belly pump on that exhale, like you're panting. So let's go and take a big inhale. We'll do this together. I trust you. I know you're doing it. Big inhale. Bring the tongue out of the mouth. Good, big inhale. It's kind of a funny one to do, but hopefully you immediately felt heat in the belly. So that's the purpose of that particular breath. You start burning up all of those blockages that we've got, all the energy we're holding. It's a really good detoxifying breath. So you're welcome to take breath of fire on this next pose or just keep going with your normal breath. If you do want to switch up your breath of fire from the dog panting, you're welcome to try doing that in and out through the nose if your allergies are okay with that right now. So we'll go and try that real quick. Take a big breath in. Awesome. Breathe in. I loved it. I could hear other people doing it with me. Makes me feel better. Okay, so we're standing nice and tall. We're going to bring those arms out at goalpost. So squeeze the shoulders together behind you. Feet hip width distance apart, but a slight bend in the knees, and we're going to twist. So we'll inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Makes sense? So inhale in the center, exhale to the side. Might take a few rounds just to get used to that breath flow. So using breath of fire if you like. Fingertips reaching nice and tall towards the sky, just like this if you can't see them. Big breath in. So this is a more controlled swing than where we started our class. So we should have the belly nice and tight, feeling little squeezes each time we turn and twist, trying to keep the hips square to the front of your room and finding that nice deep breath, building heat. Go and slowly start to unwind it. Big inhale here. Coming back to your normal breath as you let the arms start to sink down, probably feeling the blood start rushing back towards the fingertips again. Go and give them a wiggle. Walk yourself back to the very back edge of your mat if you're not already there. We're gonna take a big inhale, swooping the arms up nice and tall. As we exhale, round it down, forward fold. Half back. Folding down, walk the hands out, finding your plank. So full plank or modified with the knees down, toes lifted. Belly's nice and tight here. And everyone who's logged in, I'm pretty sure you're excellent yogis from practicing with you in the past. So if you want to go ahead and kick it up to Chaturanga, feel free to. I'll go ahead and walk through Pranam Flow for anybody who would like to do that. So as we exhale, the knees come down, chin and chest forward. Inhaling Cobra, tops of the feet come down. Exhale, hips come back to heels, curl the toes, downward dog. Breathing right between the shoulders. Okay, we're gonna walk our hands back to our heels. Finding that forward fold on the exhale. Half back. Exhale down. Walk the hands out. So if you were with me on Sunday, you know we did a lot of push-ups. So if you'd like to go ahead and take a little push-up here, chaturanga push-up, lift up, full flow, or meet in downward dog. So if we're doing full chaturanga, we lower halfway. Inhale up. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward dog. Go ahead and do that again. Inhale, gaze comes forward, but we're gonna walk the hands back to the toes. Forward fold, half back, hands to the mat, walk it out, cross-legged, push up if you like, lower down, uncross, take your flow. Big breath in our downward dog. Exhale, gaze comes forward. Walk the hands back. Half back. Exhale down. Walk it out. Maybe cross the other direction this time. Push up. Uncross. And take your flow. Very good. Take the right foot nice and high into the sky. Toes point to the ground. As we exhale, we're going to swoop it forward. Plant that foot down. Low lunge. Very good. Set the back knee down. Little twist here. So the left palm or the left fist comes down, opening the right arm nice and tall. Again, if we want to open a little bit more through the shoulders, go and drop that arm backwards. And exhale, unwind the arms. We're gonna curl the back toes, lift that foot up, knee up off the ground, plant the palms, maybe hover the knee, send it back, take your flow. So maybe cross-legged, push up here before your chaturanga, or maybe we keep that foot hovered, push up, keep the foot up, chaturanga, up dog, downward dog. Very good. Left leg comes up into the sky. Right. Exhale as we bring it through. Finding our lunge pose. Little breath here before we set the back knee down. The right hand comes down, open, left arm up, maybe back. If we do go back, we might get an added little stretch here. Piriformis area. Breathing. Exhale, unwind the arm back down, curl the back toes, hover, and stretch it out long. Welcome to try to keep that foot lifted as we push up, and then chaturanga. Up dog, downward dog. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and bring the gaze to the front of the mat. This time we are gonna step or hop, bring the toes to meet the hands. Forward fold. Our chair pose challenge from Sunday. We take a breath in, finding that nice chair. Super comfy lazy boy, right? Toes nice and wide. So here's the chair pose challenge. We all need to drop it down so we can see each other's faces. Find yourself in the camera for those of you whose phone is on the floor. Nice job. Really rocking out the chair pose. Maybe we drop it lower to get our hands in the frame too. Breathing here. Good. Bring the hands to the heart. We're gonna take a nice twist. Left elbow comes onto the right thigh. Checking in, make sure our knees are still in line. That left knee didn't come forward. Pressing into the palms, Rotate the chest. Staying here, maybe opening those arms. And hands come back to the heart. Breath in as we find our chair pose. Exhale, twist it open. Other side. Right elbow, left leg. Maybe open the arms. Finding center, one more breath. Exhale, hold it down. Shake the legs. Half back. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna come into a gate pose. So that's coming back to having both knees on the mat. So just gently setting yourself down. Legs are hip width distance apart. So kind of back to where we started with that little camel pose practice. This time with gate, just over here, we're gonna send that right leg out to the side. So toes will be pointed forward, trying to keep that foot totally sealed on the mat, if that's okay in our ankles. Okay, big breath up, arms reach, shoulders away from the ears. As we exhale, we're gonna bring the right arm down, left arm lifts across the body. We can always hold our beach ball here too, if you're in it for the core work today. Big breath as we come back up. Very good. Exhale, left hand is gonna come down. So a little side plank here, that right hand can come onto the hips, so getting a little sassy hand here. You're welcome to use a block too. Just bring the floor up to you. Okay, so getting back to those glutes, we're gonna do some leg lifts. So big breath here as we root into this left leg, left arm. We're gonna flex the foot, right foot, and lift. Down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. We'll do 15. And once we get to 15, we're just going to rest the foot onto the mat. All right, so everyone make your way there after you're done. I'm going to switch the view so I can see where we are. Make sure we're not moving too quick. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. So we are in our side plank here. Use that core. We're going to come back up. Gate pose. Okay. So a little breath practice here too. We are going to inhale the arms up, finding our Charlie's Angels fingers, right? Reaching up to the sky. Big breath in. As we exhale, we're gonna come over, use that core to bring us up, and exhale to the other side. Center, center, center. One more each side. Reaching nice and tall. Good. And release the arms down. We're gonna place the hands right underneath the shoulders. Little froggy stretch here. So just big breath in, nice and tall. As we exhale, we're gonna send the hips back towards the back of the room. And you can move back and forth in this stretch. We're targeting the outside of the thigh, the glute area. If you can drop it all the way back down onto the heel, and that's where you feel the most out of the stretch, go and go for it. Walk those fingertips nice and long. Keep the arms engaged. This much like pigeon, I found, is very much a love-hate stretch for a lot of students. So just breathe into it. We'll inhale, come back up. Good. One more breath, walk it over to our side plank pose. We're gonna bring that right arm up nice and tall. In fact, reach it over the right ear, stretching nice and long. Big breath. As we exhale, we're gonna bring the hand and the leg together. Inhale, open. Exhale, side crunch. 3, 4, keeping the foot flexed. 5, 6, we're going for 8, 7, and 8. Hold it here, reaching towards those toes. Set it down, hand and foot, walk back to center, and then we're gonna walk back up. Bring that right knee in underneath us. Perfect. Go ahead and take a break off your knees if you need to. You're welcome to stretch them out long in front of you as well. And then we will meet back in gate pose whenever you're ready with that left leg stretched out nice and long. So other side now. Okay. So in our gate pose, and I failed to cue this at the start, so I apologize for that, but I just noticed it in my own posture. So we'd like to keep in one nice long line. So just take a look at your foot. If it's way out front, way out behind you, just bring it back in line with your knee that's into the mat. Very good. Okay, big breath in, reaching nice and tall. As we exhale, we're gonna bring the left hand down, maybe find that beach ball, holding nice and long here. Reaching. And then flow the hands back up. Planting that right arm down. We're gonna take some leg lifts again. So 15 on the other side, I think. We'll do that again here. Tail up. $14, $15. Use that core to find ourselves back up whenever you're ready. Perfect. I can see everyone there. Okay, a little froggy pose here. As we exhale, or actually we'll do the candlesticks first instead of frog pose. We'll save that for a second. Inhale, arms come up. Charlie's Angels fingers again. Reaching towards the sky. Breath in. Exhale out. Center. In. Using the core to help guide us. And this might be a really small movement, and that's okay. You don't have to be super bendy. Last one, both sides. And then let's meet in center. Perfect, release the arms down. Now let's find that awesome, super great frog pose where we plant the palms and we push the hips back to the back of the room. So feeling that nice stretch, inner thigh, outside the glute. Maybe this time we even drop it onto the elbows. Your choice, your pose, your practice. Moving around, finding what works for you. And inhale as we slowly start to bring it back forward. Maybe plant the palms underneath the shoulders. And then we will find our way back up. So last little movement in our gate pose here. Right hand comes down. Remember, we're gonna take those side crunches. Reaching that left arm nice and long. Should feel like an awesome stretch right here. Big breath. As we exhale, bring the arm down beneath the leg. Inhale straight. Exhale. Going for 10 here. So once you get to 10, we will come back to our gate. Setting the foot, using that core to bring ourselves back up. Very good. Okay, I think we're all there. Let's go ahead and bring the left knee in this time. Set the hips back towards the heels. We're gonna bring the legs out long in front of us. So I promised play in our 8-angle pose. So we'll bring that right around after our final little hip flexor stretch. So cow face pose has a ton of different options. So the first one can be that we're gonna bend the right leg and maybe set it across the left thigh. We can take the left leg back behind us, trying to touch that heel towards the hip. You don't have to tuck it in completely. And maybe we keep this right leg raised, or we try to stack the knees. So this can be a pretty intense pose. Listen to your hips, back it up to where you need it to go. But it's called cow face pose because of our lovely little cow ears here. So let's sit up nice and super tall. You remember our breath of fire. We're gonna come back to that now. So this time we're gonna take our ego eradicator hands, which I absolutely love. So many times we're talking now about, you know, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Well, that's the ego talking. So you'll learn quickly why we call it the ego eradicator. So we're gonna tuck the thumbs in, we're gonna wrap the fingertips around them, and bring those arms up out of 45. Sitting in our cow face pose, nice long straight spine, shoulders away from the ears. And we will start breath of fire. So you're welcome to bring the tongue out. You're welcome to keep a normal breath, or in and out through the nose. So big breath in here. Keep going with your breath. If you find that your eyes are closed, try to take the gaze right in between the third eye space. Big, huge inhale. Lift the arms, touch the palms as we exhale, find that heart space. Very good. A few more deep breaths. Checking in with that heart rate. It's ego eradicator, breath of fire practice. It can stir up a lot of anger and aggression. So if you start feeling those just really heated emotions come up, just acknowledge them, let them go. It's the purpose. We're starting to kind of peel off the layers of the onion in our practice and in ourself there. So let's take another big breath, arms up overhead. This time we're just gonna take a little forward fold. Reaching the arms out nice and long. Listening to the hips as we send the sits bones towards the ground. Exhale, bring those palms back behind us. Just a little heart open here. Plant the palms, fingertips point forwards. Leaning back, opening the heart. Keeping the neck in line with the spine or letting it drop backwards, your choice. And then sitting up nice and tall. So if you have kiddos at home and want to do kid yoga, this is one of the most fun ways to transition in our cow face pose. So I'll set us up both ways to get there. First one is just unraveling around. So we're gonna bring the hands forward. and we're just gonna lift up on those toes. And this way we're gonna walk over to the left with our hands and walk them around, staying up on the balls of our feet, bringing them around. And then ta-da, we're in cow face on the other side. So if we got tangled up on our way to get there, we're gonna start with our legs stretched out nice and long. Left leg comes in. Maybe we drop it over the right and we stay there. Maybe we bring the right heel back and then we stack the knees. Toes nice and flexed. Just go ahead and take a little lift. Get the cheeks underneath the sits bones, a little bit more comfortable here. Big inhale, arms up. Finding ego eradicator on this side, tucking the thumbs into the fingers. Arms out at that 45. Big breath in. Breath of fire. Keep going with your breath. Remember, if you find your eyes closed, just challenge yourself to bring your gaze up to that third eye space. You might feel a little bit cross-eyed, but it's just directing all that energy flow right to that central line and right up to the crown of the head. Big breath in. Reach the arms nice and tall. Big exhale. Hands right into the heart. Let the weight of the arms draw the hands down. Nice slowing breaths here. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift the arms back up. Exhale, finding that little bit of a forward fold. With each breath, we lengthen. Exhale, maybe finding just a smidgen more of a fold. And use our hands and core to come back up nice and tall. I'm going to stretch the legs out in front of us. Give them a little shake, a little pat. Okay, so a little quick play in our 8-angle pose. I swear that these Zoom classes go even faster than our in-person classes. So I'll show you the modification that we did on Sunday first, and then quickly walk us back through 8-angle. So modification, we're going to start in our reclining Buddha. So just our movie watching pose here, coming onto the forearm. We'll start with the left forearm down. And wait for everybody to get there. I will do my best to talk us through this. This will be a true challenge to make sure we don't get too confused if you can't see your screen. So the right leg, let's go ahead and just lift it up into the sky, nice and tall. We did some fun dancer kicks on Sunday. That was nice. So leg stretched. We're going to plant it down right in front of the left leg. So toes will point forward. And we're going to come up onto the palm of that left hand. So kind of lift it a little bit now. We feel like we're ready to pounce. We were in this little kind of froggy posture. So what we'll be doing here is making a nice chaturanga arm with the left arm. So bend, try to get that shoulder almost parallel to the floor. And we're going to reach the right arm in front of that left leg, reaching towards the toes. So it might just be that we're pausing here, pressing that palm into the leg, or not the palm rather, but the forearm, upper arm. Getting a little stretch. We might reach down towards the toes. Maybe take a hold of them. You can use your peace fingers around the big toe, maybe on the knife edge. I'll show you where we're going for, so that'll help you decide your grip. So we might find we need to walk that right foot down the leg a little bit too if we've got super long arms. So we're just gonna rock forward, bending that left arm, coming back up, rocking forward, coming back up. Maybe we keep rocking, or maybe we commit as we come forward, shift the weight into the planted foot and palm, and then pop the hips up off the ground. So we're lifting that foot. Yeah. Seconds count. Shaking's good. And we drop it down. And if you can drop it down gracefully, bonus points. Awesome. So we're just going to do a quick unwind, reset over onto the right side. Setting up on the forearms to start with. Lift that left leg up nice and tall. Just a good stretch. We got to take it if we're here, right? Roll the ankle if you need to, and then set that foot down right in front of the right leg. Coming up onto the right palm. Left arm reaches out and around the front leg, taking hold of the toes maybe. Or maybe we can hold on to the back of the calf too. Good. Great. Breathing here, rocking it forward. Bending that right arm, chaturanga arms, and rock. Forward, rock. And maybe commit. They see us trying. You can oomph, you can make noises. It helps, I promise. And we find our way. Hey, nice job, guys. Very good. Oh, it's fun to play. That's what we need more of right now, I think. Awesome. Woohoo! Okay, so when you're ready to move on, let's go ahead and stretch the legs out nice and long in front of us. So our 8 angle, it's a pretty big arm balance. It's fun. And again, there's stopping points along the way. So don't be intimidated by it. We'll all pick our pose here, so to say. So let's start with bringing the right leg into the sky, not into the sky, hugging it into the body. Got so excited by our leg lifts. They just feel good today. So here, let's take hold of the right foot. And we're going to draw it back like an arrow, okay? So just try to bring that foot in towards the body. Knee can shoot out underneath the armpit. We're just getting a little stretch. And then we're going to take that left hand around and hold on to that heel. So it's going to free up the right hand as we loop it underneath. So that leg does not have to go up onto the shoulder or anything crazy like that. It can be right above the elbow. And this might be where we hang out. So we've got our elephant trunk right here. This might be our awesome little stretch. Or we have both hands nice and wide on the mat, hugging the sides of the body. Okay. Again, we might just kind of rock forward, coming up onto the heel of the left foot, and then we set it back down, and it might be our pose tonight. Okay. Or we want to try, we can bring this left foot around to hook our ankles, and then bring the sits bones up and drop it down. Stopping point number 3. Or we'll start using those chaturanga arms we've been working so hard on the past few classes and all the other classes that you are doing on your own too. And then bring it forward. And as we come forward, we are going to squeeze those legs into the upper arm, okay? So we're using the shelf. We're going to trap the right arm as we come forward and then try to stretch the legs out. So again, this is one that might be easier in a studio, but I've seen most all of you do this before, so I have faith. So again, right leg comes up. Maybe we cross the ankles, we hold here, and just let it hang. Lift up, and set it back down, okay? So before we get too worn out on one side, we gotta do this on the other side too. So let's go ahead and roll the wrists. Give them a little break. And as with all things in class, we might find that one side is very different than the other. So show some grace, show some humility with that as we stretch that right leg out nice and long. The left leg comes in towards the body. We are going to take the knife edge into the left hand and draw that hip back, just enjoying this stretch. Knees underneath the armpit. Still trying to sit up nice and tall, not rounding back in our spine. And then take the right hand, hold on to that heel. Left arm scoops underneath. So again, where your right arm or right leg hit on your arm might be totally different than where the left one is. It's okay. Okay? Again, elephant trunk. This might be our pose tonight. Or as we place the right hand down, maybe we cross the feet and we hang out here. And then we lift and set it back down. Using that lower core just to lift the hips. Again, those oomph noises that we made earlier, go ahead and try them here. It might help. As we come forward this time and try to stick our elephant or 8-angle pose on the other side, squeezing the left leg or the left arm with the legs. Good. Awesome. I see some flying feet. That's great. Nice job. Very good. We'll give it a few more breaths here. We'll keep working on this. We'll be here for the next few Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings. So we'll keep building on this one. It's just a fun one to play with. And really in this arm balance, if you go anywhere, you're going down on your bottom. So it's pretty approachable as far as that part's concerned. So let's roll the wrists again. And take a big stretch. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, let it out. Stretch the legs out. We're going to scoot those feet up to the very front of our mat so that we've got room to lay down behind us. So ending with a super nice heart opener here, playing our fish pose. So palms are going to be behind us. Options here. You're welcome to stay with a little bend in the arms or maybe come onto the forearms. Your choice. Feet will be flexed back towards you. And in any pose here, the purpose is to lift out of the shoulders. So we're pretending like we've got a string right around the heart. It's pulling us up to the sky. Breathing here. Trying to pinch those shoulder blades together in the back. Head can drop back behind us. Unless it starts to restrict our breath a little bit, then bring it right back in line with the spine. Nice, deep, slow inhales and exhales. Next breath out, we're going to slowly start to walk ourselves down onto our backs. Take a few breaths in our cobbler's pose, so bringing the soles of the feet together, just allowing those hips, knees to open out to the sides, not putting any pressure on them, just letting gravity do the work here. Knowing that this is a perfect posture for Shavasana if you would like to come back to it. After our spinal twist. So let's go and hug the knees back in towards the chest. Trying to give yourself a great big hug. Arms come out nice and long. Palms face down. And let the knees drift over to one side. Gaze looks in the opposite direction. At this point in our practice, we're beginning just to let go of that practice. The purpose of all of these asanas or the postures that we do is to prepare us for the stillness, to get our mind to that still point. Let's go ahead and bring the knees back through center, and we will let them drift over to the other side. And the gaze looks over the other shoulder. Starting to let go of that controlled breathing. Allowing the muscles to start to relax on each exhale. Knees come back to center. Either returning to that cobbler's pose with the soles of the feet touching. If you are at home, you're welcome to move towards a wall for legs up the wall. Or just coming into that awesome Shavasana, stretched out corpse pose. Legs nice and long. Palms face upward. Beginning your breath right at your toes. As you inhale, doing a body scan all the way up to the crown of the head. As you begin to exhale, you exhale from the crown of the head down to the toes, releasing the muscles along the way. Letting go of your practice. Letting go of your thoughts. And giving yourself permission to start to drift. Mind, body, heart. Deepen your breath. Finding little movements in the fingers and the toes. Feeling your connection with your mat, the earth, all of those around you. Take a big stretch. When you're ready, arms overhead, fingertips to toes. Full exhale, bring the knees back into the chest. We'll just start to roll, finding our way back up to a seated position. Take your time. No rush to get there. As we're finding ourselves seated nice and tall, I'll go ahead and share our quote or our thought for the evening from BKS Iyengar. So the Light on Life book that I talked about a couple weeks ago, and Light on Yoga. Those are two of his books I highly recommend, especially with this quarantine time that we have. So he says, yoga allows you to rediscover a sense of wholeness in your life where you do not feel like you are constantly trying to fit broken pieces together. So I hope that, this time of kind of the alone together, right, has brought a lot of people to the mat who maybe haven't experienced it before. So if you have friends who've talked about yoga, or you think that they need a little boost, through this time, encourage them, share your practice and share with them what you're doing, and share with them, oh yeah, it's a great physical workout, and then ease into the mental part. So I know you all practice all the time because you found that, you started to tap into that. So I hope that that also translates to you taking your yoga off of your mat as well. So taking it with you, again, sharing it with those around you, and just remembering the breath is a tool that we always have. Shavasana is a tool we can always find. A downward dog in a hallway is not a big deal. People do crazier things. So take it with you, share it with those around you, and thank you for sharing it this evening with all of us. So let's take a big breath, arms up overhead, nice and tall. As we exhale, we bring the hands down towards the heart, feeling the heartbeat below, being grateful for it. I do like to end class with an Om, so please feel free to join. We'll take a big breath in. Om. Thank you so much for showing up, for playing, for trying different things. Most of all, just for bringing your light and sharing it with all of us. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. It's always amazing to see you all. Namaste.
Namaste.